Hi, I'm Dan, and if you're new to homebrewing, so am I. Welcome to my adventures in homebrewing.
Hey everybody, it's Dan. It's that time once more to go around the world one more time and have a beer or two along the way. Thanks a lot for coming out again this week. So, thanks for tuning into the episode I did last week. Greatly appreciate it. Excuse me. There wasn't a whole lot going on in my life, but things are slowly getting better. Um, just a quick update. Life is good. I think this week we're going to veer off of the homebrew topic a little bit, and we're going to talk about what we do to help our mental health and why we make beer for our hobby. So hang tight, and we'll be right back.
The BrewTubers online store has everything you need for your brewing apparel and gift idea needs, with a growing selection of colors and sizes for hoodies, t-shirts, and caps. Stickers and magnets? Got 'em. Can holders and coffee mugs? We've got those too. Be the boss of your neighborhood and the envy of brewers everywhere when you flash that beautiful BrewTubers logo at your next local brewing competition. Want everyone to know you're a part of the Brew World Order? Strike a Superman pose with that BWO logo on your chest and make them all take notice. And if you haven't already, get over to our website at www.brewtubers.com and become a member. Then, just mosey yourself over to that BrewTuber store tab, click on it, and open the door to show the world you are a proud BrewTuber. Brew, record, post, repeat.
So thanks for coming back, guys. So this week we're going to be talking about mental health and an initiative about what a sponsor of the homebrew club I'm a part of, Yakima Valley Hops, and what they're doing to help raise awareness for men's mental health or just mental health in general. Um, as I've said before on the cast, I am a retired military member of the Canadian Armed Forces. I am a survivor of PTSD. When I mean survivor, I'm still dealing with it, and it never goes away. I have my struggles. I have moments when I have times when I can't stand being in crowds. I hate loud noises. And that's all due to my military service. Now, with my mental health, it's dealing with things that relate back to the day where I had one of the worst moments in my life. And that's actually today, 19 years ago today. I was deployed overseas in Afghanistan, uh, the very first rotation for Canadians in Kabul, not in Afghanistan, in Kabul. The very first rotation were when Princess Patricias went in uh, the first time on the whale's back, and they were dealing with things like that. And the very first casualties to friendly fire were at Tarnock Farms. Now, I'm not saying that those gentlemen there don't have issues. They do. I know quite a few people from that incident that have their mental health uh, struggles from that. For me, October 2nd, 2003, I was in Kabul, Afghanistan, and around 1:30 in the afternoon, the patrol I was on got hit with an IED, and I lost two great members of my patrol, my sergeant at the time, Rob Short, a corporal who was a friend of mine. We were both corporals together at that time, Robbie Baronfinger. Um, We didn't know when everything happened that they were gone. Myself, my master corporal, Jay Hamilton, went prodding out into two very large, undefined minefields to see if they were alive and pull them back. We thought everyone was gone. The driver lived of their Jeep, and we had to not only take care of TJ, who was the driver, but then we had to go out and check on Rob Short and Robbie Barenfinger. So it turns out they passed away. I'm not going to get into details because it's hard for me to talk about details. We get out and do everything, get them back. We know they're gone. That's life. I hate saying it like that, but that's unfortunately it was the card at the time we were dealt. And it's still a very hard pill to swallow. I still have my moments where I blame myself for feeling I could have done more, I didn't move fast enough. And there's always that woulda, coulda, shoulda thing. But woulda, coulda, shoulda is not going to, I should say, help anybody down the road. It's acceptance that you had to take a bite of a big shit sandwich and carry on. And unfortunately, carrying on comes with scars. Now, like for me, PTSD can be multiple different things. For me, it could be flashbacks, it could be nightmares, it could be uh, extreme anger, hating everybody, hating the world. And to be perfectly honest, I've had all that. And I still deal with that. And I have been working on these issues for 19 years, believe it or not. A long time. Now, there are a lot of things out there that help us stay grounded. And being grounded when you're dealing with this much of a beast to try and tackle is good. Making sure that you're in a safe place and everything else is good. So for me, when I got back into making homebrew or beer, I found that it was a good grounding point for me. It gave me time to be able to relax, focus, feel safe, and share what share what I know with other people. It's what I'm doing now. Here in Canada, there are a lot of options for us, more or less. There's Veterans Affairs Canada where we can reach out to as a veteran and to get mental health help. There's the local hospitals if they'll take you. But there's also the Royal Ottawa Mental Health Hospital where they have a section that's mainly geared towards veterans, military members, and RCMP. I spent a good portion of my time when I was getting ready to transition out of the military there. And between seeing the psychologist I was seeing while I was still in to address my issues, because I was dodging a lot of them, and then some of the people I was dealing with were just like thinking, oh yeah, he's fine, he's fine, he's fine. I wasn't. I'm very good at hiding what's going on with me. The psychologist saw that, and I told her, don't let me skirt around the issues. Come forward, she relayed that onto the group at the mental health hospital where I was going for treatment. And they did the exact same thing. They didn't let me skirt the issues. And it's hard when you're going from professional to professional. You have to build up that trust again. It's like building up that bond you have with your brothers in arms when you're in the military. Brothers and sisters in arms are family and you feel each other out. And sometimes that feeling out process can be like a couple days, a couple months, a couple of years until you get comfortable around each other. And it's the same thing when you're dealing with someone for your mental health. Now, here in Canada, we do have things where we can go and do. There are groups out there. There's Soldier On, there's Wounded Warriors Canada, there's True Patriot Love. You can reach out to these people to get guidance of where you can go and find things or help get you reintegrated back into the world. I have been very fortunate to have been part of Soldier On. And there's another group I've been fortunate to be a part of, the Caddie School for Soldiers in Fife, Scotland. They're fantastic people. And not only do I have to thank them for keeping me alive, I have to say thank you to my family for keeping me alive, because without them to focus on, I wouldn't be here. And I'm not saying that to be dramatic. I'm saying that to be honest. I've had moments where my thoughts have went extremely dark and I didn't know what end was up. I would have moments of crying. I would have moments of fear, of shaking, and there was no way around it. Now, finding that one thing that you can focus on to put your energy into to actually go forward and feel safe is a good thing. And I'm not just saying when I'm taking up making beer or brewing beer at home is the way to go about feeling safe. Everybody has their own point or their own something that helps them. This is what helped me. Oh, for a long time, it was running. I would have that time to get inside my own head, calm myself down, and things were good. But when I couldn't run anymore because my back is shot, my hips are shot, I had to find something else. And I found homebrewing, which has been fantastic for me. Now, the homebrew community is absolutely fantastic, not only here in Canada, not only in the United States, but worldwide. It is a fantastic brother and sisterhood of homebrew beer makers that collaborate together, support each other, and they're there to help each other. And I'm very impressed with what Yakima Valley is doing. Yakima Valley has a program going where they're trying to raise awareness for mental health awareness. And part of that is that there's applying the actual beer label, believe it or not, for you to use. They want to know what you're making. And then they're going to ask you to help promote it for them. Bring awareness to men's mental health awareness, veterans' mental health awareness, women's mental health awareness. And this is something that is really cool. Believe it or not, from their statistic, men, they're saying this, I don't know for sure. They're saying men are about 10 times more likely to succumb to mental health issues by suicide or their own or something else, vice women. Personally, I say it's 50-50. Men and women are in the same boat. We experience things completely differently depending on the situation. We react differently. And to be honest, sometimes I think women are tougher than men when it comes to dealing with stuff. I absolutely agree. My wife is the strongest woman in the world to have to deal with me falling apart at a moment's notice to almost losing me overseas and everything else. My family is my world. And finding those things that keep you going and appreciating them is a good thing. Now, I wish I could have got someone from Yakima Valley on the actual show today to talk about this fantastic fantastic project they've got going. I'm going to reach out again and see what I can do, and we'll talk about it maybe some more maybe later in the week. But I'd like to know what you guys actually think about mental health awareness. I mean, I found things that actually help me out a lot between, as you can see, all the golf stuff behind me. I have become a pretty big golf nut, and the Caddie School for Soldiers have actually helped me achieve quite a bit in what I've been wanting to do between being at, as you can see, the Canadian Open as a caddy, being at the CP Women's Open as a caddy for a pro have been absolutely fantastic situations for me and have helped me immensely. Now, this wasn't always the case, believe it or not. Believe it or not, there were times when I didn't want anything to do with anybody. And I think I've said this earlier in the show. But if you know someone is struggling, or if you know of anybody who is hurting, reach out to them. Let them know they're not alone. Let them know you care. And if you've been in this boat, if you're still in this fight, tell them it's okay. Tell them you're there. Tell them something that it's going to help them stay alive. It takes the smallest amount of effort to help someone, to listen, to say, hey, let's go have a coffee, or hey, let's go for a walk. Let's meet up. How are you doing? It takes just that to check in with somebody. And it just takes that to know if that person's okay or not. In my time in the military, there were times in the night I would get a phone call with someone in distress. And I would get up, leave the room where I answered the phone, and I would talk to this person. And sometimes at around 1 o'clock in the morning, I'd be at the local Tim Hortons if they were open, having a coffee with a friend to keep them alive. It does not take that much. Brewing beer is a great way for me to bring people together that I know that are still in this fight and don't know which way to go, and still have said, this is something I want to do. And I invite them to my home. Come. This is a safe place. There's no judgment here. And we go from there. As much as the military says, we support our troops, and they do, if you're 100%. If there's any sign of weakness, they push you to the side and find somebody else. And I guess I can understand it, but I experienced the worst treatment possible. And I'm not saying that I am the only one, and I'm not saying that this is the way it is in every unit. It's not. There are some units that go out of their way to take care of their soldiers, protect their soldiers, and help their soldiers stay alive, even after they're out. And that's the way it should be, even when you're out. Veterans Affairs and or the military should be there to help you regardless of what situation you're in, and not treat you like a number or a statistic. So, what can we do? Reach out when you need help. I know it's a big pill to swallow and it's a big shit sandwich to take a bite out of, but admitting you need help is a good thing. Staying true to yourself and acknowledging your hurt is a good thing. Making sure you have somebody you can turn to and trust, build that trust with that person. Making sure that you don't freeze your family out is another thing. This is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, guys. I thought I would be able to talk about everything in the world. Today is actually a really hard day for me. And Yakima Valley are doing something really, truly and remarkable, and I wish more people would do it. I wish more people, more businesses would actually step up like they are doing and to bring awareness to this issue. To Yakima Valley, I say this. Thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for what you're raising awareness for and what you continue to do. To my friends that are gone, light winds, soft landings. And to everybody else who's still in the fight, you're not alone. If you need me, reach out. To everybody else, thanks for tuning in. I'm Dan, and I'll see you on the other side.